to Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. I would say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you're listening from. Last time I checked, we were in about 17 countries. So we have a lot of listeners that are across the entire world. And why is that? Because women are women, no matter where women are located. We're just women, and women want to listen to the strong stories of other women because that's how we get our inspiration. It's how we get our motivation, and it's how we get our education. So I'm super excited to have two beautiful ladies that are members of Lead Up for Women here with us today. We have Cheryl Pullins and Shequana Hughes, and I'm going to be interviewing them very shortly. So let's just go ahead real quick and get caught up with Lead Up. We have a few things I wanted to talk about for events. Now, I talk about these regularly every week, and if you haven't signed up for one, I'm going to ask you why not. They're free. It's just time for you to be educated by our members. And let me tell you, the members that we have in Lead Up for Women are the elite, top of the line professional women, female leaders. They are the shiz, is what I like to say. Everything about them is amazing, and they bring their genius forward, and they teach on what their unique genius is twice a month. We call it Teaching Tuesday. So I invite you to sign up for one of those. The registration is free on our website. Just go over to Lead Up for Women, click on events, and boom, there you have it. Our next one is on August 11th. And then the one after that is on August 25th. So the next one's going to be about how you show up matters. So we're doing these virtual a lot, right? So how are you showing up? I see here Cheryl has a black shirt on with red flowers. Shequana has a blue shirt on. I'm in black. Shocker. I'm in black a lot. Well, I had a strategy call with Ann. She told me why I was in black all the time. So there's a reason why we wear certain colors, our hair is a certain way, how we want to show up to the world. And she helps you put together aligning your professional image with your brand and your messaging, which Cheryl is going to talk a lot about today. So I think Cheryl and Ann have a lot in common. But the way Ann goes about it's differently because Ann's Ann and Cheryl's Cheryl. That's what makes us so unique. And that's why we need to sign up for all of those opportunities. And then Debbie's going to talk to us about strategic planning. She's all about finances, talking about your money. And let's not ignore our money because our money is important, because our money is what pays the bills. Our money is what gives us wealth and abundance and opportunity. So money is important, women. Let's not like push that away or act like it's an elephant in the room. Let's chat about money. So she's going to talk about finances and how to be strategic now in what's happening with this new, I don't know, reality we're living in, this crazy world that we're living in. Yeah. How can you take advantage of that? So she's going to be talking about that on August 25th. And every Monday, tune into Facebook on our Lead Up for Women page because we do Monday member spotlights for 15 minutes. Any member in Lead Up for Women can pop on with me and share a message, launch a book, share their event, whatever it is that they've got going on. It's another platform for them to be in the spotlight, show up and be seen. You guys know I'm all about putting women in spotlights. It's what it's about. We have 4 spots left in our sanctuary. I have decided with everything going on, we're pushing it to November 5th, and I'm moving it from Dallas to Scottsdale, Arizona. So now everyone gets to come to the beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. We're renting a mansion. We're all going to be together under the same roof for 4 transformational days, a private chef, food, pampering, spa, yoga, meditation, you name it. You can't miss it. So just go to our events page. You can fill out an application for that. And the last thing is we're launching our Lunch and Learns. Very excited about this. So once a month, we're going to get together for 90 minutes so women can purposefully connect, get to know each other a little bit better, expand your circle, get some networking in, and you get to learn from me once a month. So we're going to be talking a lot about how to master you. We're going to be talking about money, how to build your money mountain. We're going to be talking about how to calendar your day. You name it, we're going to have a different topic every month. So I invite you to grab your lunch and join us for that. The first one's on September 3rd. So it's coming up in just under a month. All right, ladies, That's a lot of stuff we have going on in Lead Up for Women, and that was only part of it. But why we're here today is about Shequana and Cheryl. So I'm going to start with Shequana Hughes because I met her through a dear friend named Katie Silverman, and she works with her in St. Louis. Is that right? In St. Louis? I didn't want to mess that up. In St. Louis, Missouri. And what I love about Shequana is knowing that we do what we do best, right? I have my way of how I have my genius and what I do best. There's a lot of things in my business that I don't do very well because that would mean that I was the jack of all trades and the master of none, right? Well, being the jack of all trades isn't always a good thing. And entrepreneurs, this is where we struggle and get stuck. We get stuck because we don't know how to get something done quick enough, or we get stuck in doing the minutia of the things that are tasks, and we can't focus on building the business or scaling the business or selling in our business, which is what, we're the passionate one. People want to talk to us. So this is where Shequana comes in because she has over 20 years of administrative experience, but it's the way she goes about the Sava group and the group that she launched. It's how she assists and how she pulls a team together to be able to help you assist. So Shequana, welcome to the show today. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. And can I just say I love your hair? It's really cute and wavy.
Thanks. I did it just for you guys today.
Yeah.
So this is the only way I can get any bounce in my hair because it's just flat, straight. But thanks. I appreciate it. Very
beachy.
So Shequana, talk to me about, you were in administrative assistance for over 20 years. So talk to us a little bit about what that was like when you were, now I'm assuming you were working for somebody and then you launched your own business. So let's talk about why you launched your own business. What pivotal moment happened in your life that maybe you shifted and all of a sudden you were like, I need to do this on my own, or you realized, like I did, I've kind of outgrown this corporate thing and I know I can do this on my own and I can do something bigger, better, whatever it may be. Tell me about that experience. Tell our listeners a little bit about that.
Well, it's funny that you ask that way, like what happened in your life that brought you to this point. And what happened in my life was I had twins. In addition to my 3 older children. So I have a total of 5 children, and working in corporate America and having 5 kids is just not very easy.
Right.
And someone that I knew needed some administrative support, just kind of outside of my job. And it was something that I had done for them for free. And they weren't very tech savvy. They didn't know a lot about social media, and I did. And they said, "Hey, can you look into this for me?" And so I did. I, helped them get their social media up and running. Created a few presentations for them and things like that. And I thought to myself, someone would actually probably pay me to do this. At the time, I had no idea that virtual assisting even existed. But in that interaction, the thought was born. And so after I had the twins, I had the idea before I was even pregnant with the twins. But after I had the twins, it was like, you have to do this. You kind of have no other choice but to do this. And so that's where the idea was born, and I launched it, and the rest is history.
That's amazing. So talk to me a little bit about the clientele that you work with. Is there a specific avatar that you look for in clients that you're working with, or ones that you found that you can help elevate them in their businesses to the next level? Because essentially that's what you do. Right. I think virtual assistant just doesn't give enough oomph to what you really do. You're a right hand, you're a project manager, you help, so much in the business to scale.
Yes, and that is why the Sava Group is now the Sava Group Productivity Firm.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say that as well, because virtual assistant just does not give it its justice. But we typically work with female entrepreneurs, of course, It was in my vision. It was on my original business plan that I wrote 5 years ago. I wanted to help women that was just like me, that was trying to do everything, be the mom, be the wife, be the employee, be the business owner. Because when I first started my business, I was still working in corporate America. So I was all of those things. And so I wanted to help the woman like me. We typically work with other service providers. So if you have a business where you're providing a service or consultants, we work with a lot of marketing firms, and things like that. So just those are typically the types of women that we work with.
Awesome. So tell me a typical day for you.
For me, pre-COVID or COVID? No.
Right now.
Right
What's
now.
a typical day for you, because you're balancing children. So this is a beautiful conversation, because women tend to get overwhelmed with all the identities that we have and feeling pressure from culture, society to choose one, but not choose all, right? So we know we can do it. We're super women, but we know we can't do it alone. So that's why you have a group, right? So the community is so important.
Yes.
So tell us about a typical day of how you're able to achieve success in all of your identities.
So my days vary. A typical day is different from the other because I'll say today, and this is how I stay sane, this is how I stay productive, this is how I stay in order. I do a lot of my calls, I do podcast interviews and things like that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I'm usually busting it. I've been back to back today, for instance. I've been back to back today, but on Mondays, I like for it to be pretty light for me, because we're coming off of the weekend per se. And so I don't schedule as much. So on a Monday, I'm a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more lady of leisure. I like to meet with my team on Mondays, which we pretty much talk about kind of the same things, just checking in on a Monday. But like on today, I'm very busy. I need a little help from my older kids to help with the younger ones because I'm on calls all day. So I try to balance everything, if there's a such thing, where, and then there are days that are my days. Saturdays are typically like my days. I'm like, okay, everyone leave me alone, basically. So day to day is different for me. And I'll say that. And I think that is a way that we as women can be able to kind of navigate and be able to do the things that we want to do. And we don't have to not be a great mom or not be, a great business owner in our own right, or not take care of ourselves, is because I compartmentalize different things.
I love that. I love the focus on, having a designated day and time to just really push hard, because then when it's scheduled, you can just push hard on that in the moment. That's what you're doing. You don't feel guilty because you have scheduled time with the kids. And that's the scheduled time that you get to really just focus on them, and you're not worried about work at the same time. So this is a very important lesson that you're teaching all of our listeners today. You can have it all, and you can do it all really, really well. You have to prioritize day by day what's the priority for their day. And I don't believe that there's a balance. I don't believe there's a balance, because that means if you're balanced, you're like 50-50, right? So you're really only giving 50% or 50%. And I really want to give 100% to whatever it is that's my priority at that moment. This is my priority for this hour, is being here with you, being here in the podcast. No text message, email, nothing else is on my mind. It's scheduled for this right now. And when we have our time scheduled, I schedule time with my grandkids. So when I have scheduled time, I can just forget everything, focus on my grandkids. And then I feel like so in the moment with them and happy. And I can do anything with them for those couple of hours. And then I'll get right back to work.
Yeah, you don't have everything that you should be doing, or that you should have done, or what you have to do, or, all of that on your mind. Yeah, it saves a lot.
So smart. What a wonderful lesson for us to be taught today. Thank you so much for teaching us that lesson. And then tell us something about you personally. You talked about Saturday being your day. Why is it important for you? This is important for other women, whether they think it is or not. Why is it important for you to have time for Shequana?
We've all heard the saying before, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And it's something that I had to learn. It is something that I had to re-teach myself because as women, we're used to pouring from an empty cup. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's in our DNA or what we're taught this for a long time. So I had to reprogram myself that no one is going to benefit from me being completely stressed out.
Mhm.
No one benefits from that. No one wins, not me, not my children, not my husband, not my business. No one wins when I am pouring from an empty cup. And so it took a minute, it took some time. It didn't happen overnight, but once I got it, no matter what is going on, I know that I need to take care of myself.
Did your mom pour from an empty cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she really didn't have a choice, kind of.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
a single parent. She took care of my brother and I on her own. She worked full time. She dabbled in entrepreneurship here and there. So it was just the way that she moved, and she had
Yeah.
to.
And I just feel like our generation is poured from an empty cup, and we're taught that. And then that's how we continue as we get older in doing. And where the success has come for me in my life has been to slow down. And I even, made that choice this morning. There was a meeting I was supposed to go to at 8 a.m. And my coach I was talking to at 7 a.m. said, yeah, I think you're really graduated way beyond that group. So I don't really think you need to go to those anymore. I was like, awesome. I can get more work done. And I was like, no, I can go for a walk. So I went and walked 2 miles. And then while I was out walking 2 miles, I had an idea. And then I called my assistant, was like, I have this idea. It wouldn't have come to me if I would have just gone back into emails and started busting through work again. You have to step back and separate yourself and have time for downloads. You can't get inspiration. You can't open your mind for new ideas to come, because life isn't about us doing this on our own. There's a greater power and God can't speak to you if you're shut off constantly using your mind and never opening the portal for conversation.
Right.
Yeah,
definitely. I totally agree with
that.
that.
I love that. Wow. Those are some awesome lessons today that you taught us, Shequana. So thank you for that. How can someone get in contact with you if they are overwhelmed, if they are really needing more time? I talk about this all the time. Everybody in the world has the same amount of time every day. We get 24 hours. The billionaires, the trillionaires, they get 24 hours. The poor have 24 hours. Anybody in between has 24 hours. So it's not like they have more time. How you buy time is hiring someone that becomes the resource for you to double your time. So now they're doing things at the same time you're doing things. So that's your additional 24 hours in the day of getting things done. Don't do this alone. I'm going to tell everyone right now, my income is increased. My time that I have free has increased. Everything in my business is increased just by bringing on someone to work with me. This is so important. You can't pass this up. So Shequana, how can someone contact you if they just want to speak to you about, is this going to be right for me?
You can shoot us an email, and our email is team, TEAM, at thesavagroup.com. The SAV like victory, A group.com. Or you can go to our website, www.thesavagroup.com.
Perfect. And we're going to have all that information in the Facebook live video. So any of you that are listening on the podcast, you also have it in your description right there on the podcast. You can just click on the link and you'll be able to get directly to Shequana. So Shequana, thanks for being with us today. And thanks for these lessons. I had no idea we were going to be taught this today, and I love it. It's so great. I
appreciate you.
Keeps driving it home. The lady of leisure. That's what I love. Right there. I wrote that down. That's one thing I need to focus on, being the lady of leisure some days. I'm just saying.
Deserve it.
Thanks, Shequana. That's great. All right, Cheryl, you are up. Beautiful. So let's talk about this lipstick loving, movie obsessed personal branding strategist, because I'm also obsessed with movies, and they're closed everywhere. And I don't get to go to my weekly movie, and that's my normal date night. So it's been a little bit of a struggle in my house, not having that time without technology.
Yeah.
But you know, you've gone so many places and have been so many places. You've been on the TEDx stage. You're certified as a professional coach. You're the CEO and founder of Iconic Persona. And I don't know if I said that right, but you help women fabulously live. I love that word that you said, fabulously live from their highest potential.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute. From their highest potential. We all have it. It's just a matter of, are you going to tap into it or are you going to ignore it? Because like Shequana said, we can do so much and we have been taught to pour from an empty cup. But when you are delivering from your highest potential, you especially have to take care of yourself. So Cheryl, welcome to the show, and I can't wait to hear what you have to teach us today.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you so much for having me.
It's amazing that you are both here and you are both strategists and really help women elevate their game. And you work directly with the owner of the business, where Shequana works with more of the team of the business. So talk to me a little bit about, I'd like to get to know you. I don't know you that well, and I would like our listeners to get to know who you are. So tell us, who's Cheryl? What makes Cheryl so freaking awesome?
Well, what makes me so freaking awesome? Oh, wow. Is, you know, my entrepreneurial journey was, I don't know if it's similar to most, but I started in the corporate world and I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Was not interested. It wasn't on my radar, really. I wanted to be the corporate girl, the vice president of some division, training and development, probably because I was an HR professional. And my becoming an entrepreneur just kind of happened. So my husband had the opportunity to take a job in Florida, and I said, okay, when are we going? When are we going? Because I'd always wanted to live in Florida, but it was during the recession. And it was very difficult to find a position that I really was willing to leave my house for every day. So I said, what can I do to try to generate income that's going to match close to what I would have been paid had I worked for someone else? So my husband and I sat down, we had a conversation. I gave him my plan, my idea, and he said, go for it. And that was 10 years ago. And yeah, that was 10 years ago. And while it hasn't been all peaches and cream, it has certainly been an amazing 10 years of highs and lows and everything in between. But what I do know is the experiences that I've had, I wouldn't have had them if I hadn't taken that risk. I hadn't taken that leap.
It's a leap. It is a leap. And I can sit here and tell you, I know how you feel. I know what it feels like to go from corporate to being an entrepreneur, the freedom, the weight that's lifted off of you, the choices you get to make. It changes your entire life. It just creates a whole new person, a whole new you. So what have you found in entrepreneurship? Give us the goodies. Give us the goodies of what Cheryl flourishes in this entrepreneurial world.
Well, there are a few goodies, and some of the goodies is that I get to work with some of the most amazing women, like totally. I mean, they're brilliant. They have their own unique secret sauce that they bring to something. And I love sitting with them and helping them to bring that out and bring that to the surface and not be afraid to step into a space, even though someone else is doing it, they're not doing it like them, you know? So I get to work with these amazing women. Also, I get presented with opportunities like this, to share my voice, to share my message, to meet new people, to make new connections. I mean, I know women across the entire United States. I know women abroad. I know women, in the African continent that I never would have probably known otherwise. So the ability to expand your reach and make connections and meet people and do amazing and awesome things, I really do credit that to my journey in entrepreneurship. And me saying I'm not going to just sit at home and sit behind the computer, but I am going to step out. I'm going to make friends and make connections and meet new people. So the women that I get to work with, the opportunities I've been presented with, showing up in the right place at the right time, all of those things. And of course, me being able to sharpen and operate from my own brilliance and developing and honing what that really is. Because I honestly didn't know when I started.
That should be the definition of entrepreneurship, honestly. Because when you're out of the box and you're off the wheel, you really get to focus on where's your brilliance and how do you bring that forward, because there's nothing, kind of snuffing that anymore, right? Because if you're hired for a specific job and you're like, yeah, but I want to do this, they're like, that's not your job description.
Right.
So you get to now really navigate your path. And isn't it amazing that when you are passionately living in your purpose, doors just open. Women just cross your path at the right time when they need to, and then offer you opportunities, or you're able to offer them opportunities that change the trajectory of their entire path, which is this ripple effect beyond what any of us could ever imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I started as a life coach, that was like a natural segue for me. I also published a women's magazine, and it really was just a platform to give other women a voice, a way to share their message. So I did that for 4 years, and I did all these amazing things that eventually culminated into me becoming a personal brand strategist.
Yeah.
Helping women take all of those pieces that I experienced and rolling them all together, anchoring it in a mission and giving it a real clear message. And so they could show up in the world true and authentic to who they are.
I love that. Wow. Whew. Boy, am I glad you're a member of Leader for Women, because that is what we stand for. And I have a lot of spotlights for you to be stepping into here very soon, including writing an article for the magazine. So Shequana wrote an article. She's going to be spotlighted in our magazine. This is, our magazine is a way for women to have another platform, another spotlight, share their message. Just like you said, I'm so happy to hear that you ran it successfully for 4 years. It is just a great opportunity for women to write, and that writing and then putting it down on paper of what it is that is coming out of them and their message that they want to share. It becomes very powerful for them to go through that experience. Yeah. And that alone transforms.
Yes. I totally agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about clarity. What you hit on something for me that is the most important aspect of any entrepreneur, especially female entrepreneurs. Women that tell me that they're just serving, they're not really doing it for the money, or doing a hobby. So you don't have a business, you're doing a hobby, right? When you have a business, the resources you need to be able to make the money off are what's going to give you the opportunity to share your message to larger groups, to more groups, to spread your message further, right? Those are the resources that we need. So let's kind of talk about the clarity piece, because if we're not clear on what we stand for, what our core values are, what are those guiding principles, what are unwavering, about what we stand for and who we are and what our genius is, then no one wants to work with you because they don't know what you do.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Correct. Clarity is so important. And actually, it's one of the first things that I start with. And I make it real personal. I want them to first get clear on who they are, what they want, what they desire before they even put anything out. It's like having some alignment within yourself. You know, these are my values. This is what this is what I believe. This is what I stand for. This is what I even believe about myself. And that's where we sometimes encounter some things where it gets a little rocky, because once those beliefs start to bubble up about who you really think you are or believe that you are, that's when it's kind of out of alignment. Because while you want to do grand and marvelous and fabulous things, you don't think you're grand, marvelous, or fabulous, right? So getting really clear on who you are, what you want to offer the world, what makes you so amazing, so incredible, and then how are you going to show up and how are you going to deliver that message? Who are you delivering it to? Right? Who is the person that message is for? And it's interesting because most times people are very resistant to that. They're like, no, it's for everybody, right? You know, and I'm like, I know you think it's for everyone, and I'm sure everybody probably needs it. But for what we're doing, we need to come up with a person, right? We need to be clear about who it's for. So getting clear on those key things before you even jump into all the other aspects is really, really, really important.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit on some very key pieces there. And the clarity isn't just about your message. The clarity pulls within, which is you being very clear on who you are. And you're right, that's where they get stuck.
Yes.
They get stuck on, I have all these ideas and I want to roll this out and I want to help, yet they don't believe that they even can do it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, man, I got chills. That's to me kind of the epitome of you helping women really live, right? And function at their highest potential.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. You can't function at your highest potential if you don't even believe that you can do it, or Absolutely. You don't even believe that you're enough, or you're worthy, or you deserve it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Man, that is awesome. So tell me a little bit more about, are you still working on book projects? Have you released your book yet? Is that something?
I have not released my book. I'm working on 2 book projects, actually. One I need to finish by the end of this month, and then I need to roll into the second one. I did contribute a chapter to an anthology project. So I have a few book projects milling around at the moment.
Yeah. That was my first book release, was the anthology, The Anatomy of Accomplishment. So that was my first book release, the first experience I had with a book, that I got asked to be part of with Erin Joy. Loved it. It was a great experience. That led to me publishing 2 more journals I didn't think was going to happen, but that was through meditation. That was like, hey, now's the time you need to release these and do. I was like, I didn't know that I was going to do that. But again, I think that goes back to what Shequana talked about, which is be a lady of leisure, because that's when we need to get our motivation, our inspiration, our time of stillness and our downloads, right? And then, like Cheryl's talking about, you cannot tap into your highest potential unless you believe that you can literally operate from your highest potential. And if you don't know what your highest potential is, that's when you need to work with someone like Cheryl to figure it out, because you can't do it on your own. And I'm sorry, but I'm the deliverer of bad news. I have no problems telling women like it is. You cannot do that on your own. Cheryl, did you figure out who you were to get to the point you've been in your 10 years by yourself?
No.
No way. No, I haven't either. There's no possible way we can do it on our own. It is absolutely critical to get to that point, there needs to be an outside influence, outside perspective, someone that can see what you can't see because you have blind spots.
Yes.
You're in your frame. And I've coached over 300 CEOs and launched very successful businesses. And I have a coach because I can't see things in my business as she can see.
Yep.
It's so critical that you work with someone. I can't say that enough. It actually is the difference between your success and your mediocre, I'm just kind of running a business, honestly.
Very true. Very true.
I'm just gonna, and by the way, no one's coming to give you the permission to tell you should do it. No one's coming. Like, you have to hit the easy, like the go button. You got to push on the pedal because no one's coming to give you the permission either. And for some reason, we wait around for something to happen. It's not going to happen. So I just say today's the day, click on the link for Cheryl and get to her email, get to her website, get to her offer that she's going to offer you in a minute here and start working with her. There's no way you can get your highest potential without a community of people. There's just not a thing. It's not going to happen. It won't. So Cheryl, tell us how women can reach out. Do you work just with women?
Yes, I do.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
I'm married to a man. I have boys. I have grandsons. I love boys.
And everything, but my heart
speaks.
Oh, for women.
Yeah.
It really is. And I want to see women win. I mean, that's my whole thing. I want to see them win. And what I do know is to helping them become visible, helping them live from their highest potential is a way that I can help them win.
Yes. And that's what Lead Up for Women does in a community, in a big, large community, not the one-on-one coaching, but in the larger community, we provide spotlights for women to just consistently show up all the time and share your message, spread your message. Like shouldn't be a time you're not showing up.
Right.
You should show up on the podcast, show up in the magazine, show up on the webinars, show up everywhere, constantly. Yeah, you just need to, right? But you can't show up if you don't have clarity in your message. You can't be seen if you're not even confident enough about yourself to be seen or know how you want to be seen. Mm-hmm. And so you got to do the work first. So Cheryl, tell them how they can connect with you to get the work done.
Absolutely. You can email me directly, capullins at cherylpullins.com, capullins@cherylpullins.com. Email me directly. Let me know that you found me through the podcast, and let's have a conversation, and then see where it goes from there.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So that's a very generous offer for someone to be able to reach out to you, and you offer to figure out, how you can strategize with them and work with them. And I mean, come on, you guys, look at these guests we have today. These two ladies are setting you up for success. There's no way you can't be successful when you have a team behind you that are doing the things that are tasks that need to get done in your business, that are keeping you from fulfilling what your purpose is and really generating at your highest potential. You cannot get there without a team and without a coach. Just going to say it. Like, it's not going to happen. So this beautiful group of ladies that we have here today was just blowing me away. I literally have goosebumps. So I feel good things are coming for everyone listening today and for the ladies that we have here, because they are your experts. And if you don't tap into them, then we can't help you. I don't know what else to say. If you don't want to tap into experts, then be prepared to not be able to hit the level that you're looking for. You become what you think about every day. And if you think you're an expert, know you're an expert, line the people in your camp that help you become strategically that expert, you will be the expert. It just is. It just is. Oh my gosh, women are so powerful.
Yes.
So Cheryl, if I asked your best friend to describe one word about you, what would she say?
Sassy.
Woohoo, girl. I love that. Shequana, if I asked your best friend to describe one word about you, what would she say?
I was crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. No. Fun loving, very fun loving, very outgoing. Yeah,
Okay.
fun loving. She said I was fun loving.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. All right, ladies, thank you for being with me today. It was just a beautiful conversation, powerful, very powerful today, very strong women we have here. So thank you so much. Next week, we are replaying one of our podcasts that we had live in April because I'm going to be on a plane. I'll be honest. I'm moving my daughter back from Virginia. Finally, my two other grandchildren are coming back home. So I'm very excited to have them here. So we are going to be replaying Doria Cordova and Leslie Baird Dinkle. It is an amazing podcast that talks about these women. Now, Doria Cordova, by the way, Tony Robbins came through her program when he was 23. She's in her 70s. She is a fabulous female. She worked with Think and Grow. Wait, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Which one? I can't remember which book it was. Dang it. Now I can't remember.
It was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Thank you, Cheryl. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And she worked with them. Are you kidding me? This lady's been around forever. She is the dame of all dames, Doria is. And I interviewed her back in April. And Leslie is just another beautiful human being, owns a nonprofit for local hope. She has brought us to Guatemala. We are going in April of next year. If you're not signed up, I just found out that signing up for this trip for 10 days, it's a tax write-off because it's a donation to the nonprofit. And you get to go for 10 days on this trip. And she's going to teach us how to, like, all around Guatemala. But on top of that, she's going to have us serve alongside the women in the Mayan villages. We're going to have them teach us, and then we're going to turn around and teach them. So you get to add to your resume if you want that you're a global speaker and trainer, because that's what we're going to be doing there. And I'm so excited to have this experience of a lifetime to go for 10 days. It's going to be fantastic. And if we can't go in April, I'm just going to kick and scream like a toddler because they better open up all the countries and let us fly in so we can do our thing. But Leslie's organizing all of it. So catch the replay. It's going to be amazing. It'll still be on Wednesday at 10 a.m. It'll be available. And my last thing I want to say to everyone as we close out today is remember, you are the only you that will ever be, and you are the only you that has ever been, ever. So how you navigate your future, how you show up boldly is up to you and no one else. Thank you for joining us today, ladies. It's been a magical show. And I want to wish you all the best this week. And I want to challenge each one of you to stand up and be the expert from your highest potential and take action. Get a team and get a coach. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Everyone say goodbye, Facebook.
Bye.
It was so awesome today, ladies. Thank you.